Welcome to Baraton TV, here and hereafter. This is your favorite station where we bring you relevant issues every other day that affect you. We are broadcasting from the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. Today we have a powerful guest from the field of science, and we are going to address the issue of coronavirus. We want to understand a little bit about coronavirus, and then also how to keep ourselves safe, because this is now an issue that is affecting the entire world today. On my right here we have Mr. Willie Kemboy. Mr. Willie Kemboy is an expert microbiologist. And Mr. Willie Kemboy, you can greet our viewer.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you.
Mr. Willie Kemboy, what does microbiology have to do? How does it relate to coronavirus?
Thank you very much, Dr. Kesis. Microbiology is a field. It's a branch of biology. It is concerned with viruses, bacteria, protozoans, fungi.
Wow. Viewer, did you hear that? This is the man who is going to tell us much more about bacteria, virus, protozoa, fungi, but we are focusing on coronavirus. On my left here, we have our medical doctor at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, Dr. Odira. Please, Daktari, welcome. You can greet our viewer.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the program.
Dr. Odira is in medical science, treating us here at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, and we even want to thank God that as we were waiting for him, he was winding up with a surgery at the theater, and we said we are just waiting for the doctor. He comes out of theater and he comes straight to address us, the viewers of Baraton TV. So we want to welcome you so much.
Thank you.
Now, coronavirus, Daktari, how serious is this disease? Because you deal with the diseases. Every time we come to you, we come when we are sick. How serious is this coronavirus?
Well, coronavirus, as we've seen from all the news outlets outside there, is a serious disease. But so far in Kenya, all we have is speculation.
Okay.
Yeah, in China, there is actual facts. In Italy, in France, in South Korea.
And one case in Nigeria.
One case in Nigeria, other cases in the US and South Americas. Yeah, it's serious outside there. And all we can do in Kenya is that we need to prepare.
In the event?
In the event it crosses over to Kenya, what can we do? How prepared are we?
Maybe, Brother Willie, maybe just help our viewer to understand what's the difference between the virus, bacteria. I mean, because for us, all of them cause sickness. What is this virus, bacteria, fungi? Maybe just briefly.
Thank you very much. Actually, there is a difference between those classes of microorganisms you have mentioned, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoans. But for the sake of today's discussion here, I want to make it clear what is a virus. So a virus is considered between the living and non-living, because a virus is made up of two things only. There is a protein coat which look like this. Inside this protein, there is either RNA or DNA.
Okay.
That's a definition of a virus. So for this case, yes.
Has to do with ribonucleic acid?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Actually, DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yes.
And RNA is ribonucleic acid. So a virus can have either DNA or RNA inside this protein coat.
It's covered in protein.
Yes. And this protein coat has spikes. These spikes are very important during infection of this virus.
No wonder when we see pictures of this coronavirus, you see a ball with the spikes.
And that is exactly how it looks like.
That's how a virus
if you use electron microscope.
Yes.
A virus is very small. You cannot see with the naked eye. Neither you can't use these microscopes we have around.
Oh, so
Yes.
you can't put it under the microscope to look
The
at
light
it.
microscope.
The light microscope.
You can't see it.
So that is the virus.
That's a
And
virus.
coronavirus is in this category.
Yes, there is something I want to mention about viruses here. You see, I have mentioned either DNA or RNA within this protein code. These RNA and DNA, they are called nucleic acids.
Yes.
So a normal cell, like your cell and my cell, we are made up of cells. A normal cell from you or me can conduct all the activities. That means it can live, it can acquire food and grow.
Okay.
And divide to produce another cell.
Yes.
Because it has some small structures within this cell.
Yes.
So like mitochondria and many other terminologies there, small structures required. But now the virus is different. It doesn't have these things.
Okay.
Now how can this virus duplicate itself?
How does it multiply?
Now that's the point. It must use the host cell. Host here is referred as you and me and bacteria.
So when it gets into us, that's when now it multiplies.
That is it. It uses our own machinery to duplicate, multiply itself. Yeah. So viral growth is called replication because it's just duplication of this either RNA or DNA. But for the case of coronavirus, it's RNA virus.
So could this be the reason why, Daktari, they say, if I got the virus today, I don't get sick today?
Yes.
So that after some days, I think probably when it is multiplying, that's when now I start feeling like I should visit you.
Actually, that is called incubation period. Incubation period is that period between the time you got the droplet from an infective organism to the time that symptoms actually start manifesting.
Okay.
And for our case, it's estimated to be something between up to 14 days.
14 days.
Yes. But,
so if I come in contact with coronavirus,
yes.
the actual symptoms that I have coronavirus will come 14 days from now, like 2 weeks.
Yes, but it's not cast on a stone because most of these things depend on the immunity of the host as well. Yeah. For example, if somebody is diabetic, they have HIV infection, they are hypertensive, they have something that lowers the immune status, then they tend to show symptoms a lot more earlier than when.
So it may not stretch to the 2 weeks.
Yes.
But if somebody is very healthy,
young person, yeah, the symptoms can come 2 weeks.
Or even slightly more.
Yes.
And this is why, viewer, as Seventh-day Adventists, we are concerned about health. Because you realize now, if you are healthier, that means that if you bump into the virus, it will take a while before it shows. And are there chances of recovery before even it?
Yes. For viral infections, yes.
Okay.
There are people who just show very minimal, what we call prodromal signs.
Yes.
Then they are recovered. But the people that have compromised immunity,
yes,
they tend to have very severe symptoms. And this stretch even to the people above 50 years of age. Yeah, the older group and the very young group, below 5 and above 50 years, they tend to have very severe symptoms and signs compared to the people in between here who are generally healthy.
And now, that's why when we are told jog, exercise, eat well, eat balanced diet, in the long run, you see now with the coronavirus in the neighborhood of our world, the people who have been doing these things have chances of survival than people who are living carelessly with low immunity in the event of this. Now, maybe, Dr. you tell us, what's the history of these virus and viral diseases that have faced our world, you know?
Well, this is not the first time we are seeing very severe viral infections. Influenza virus, when it first came in 1700s, it cleared like 40% of Europe population.
Wow.
Yes, and many other viruses that have come later on. For coronavirus, we know that they're still within the family of coronaviruses that have come. We know of MERS,
Oh yeah,
Middle East respiratory syndrome. We know of SARS.
There was SARS, SARS, yeah.
Yes, and all these are part of the corona group.
Okay.
Coronavirus, initially it was known to cause just mild respiratory symptoms in human beings, but it would cause diarrhea and other respiratory problems to chicken, to pigs, and other animals.
So coronavirus has been there?
Yeah, it has been there.
No, not, of course, not in the current form.
Not in the current, what we'd call lethal form to human beings.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but it's been there, and we saw MERS and SARS killing a few people. Still in those parts, Middle East and China. Yeah, remember SARS was in Hong Kong.
Yes.
And this COVID-19. COVID means coronavirus disease. And 19 denotes the year it started, December
Sure,
2019.
yes.
Oh, 2019.
Yes.
So
that's what it means.
COVID-19, you know something now.
Yes. Now, this has become like it's heading to what we call pandemic, but it's not there yet. The infection rate is quite low, just 0.001%. That is quite low an infective rate.
What does that mean? I'm trying to understand the infection rate.
It means that if you look at the population, for example, in Wuhan city, they have a population of almost 20 million people within that city. And so far, from the time we started having the problem in late November and December to date, there are reported cases of only about 88,000
Yes.
people.
And
so
the
far.
fatality is around 2,000.
And the fatality rate is just about 2,000.
Yes.
Yeah, compared to the population. Now you look at those, as a microbiologist, you will explain more. But when you look at those and you compare it with the population, is when you arrive at case fatality and
Sure,
you
yeah.
arrive at infectivity rates. Yeah.
Tell us more.
Thank you. I think I want to go a little bit back and to make it clear to the viewer that coronavirus is a family.
Okay.
Corona is a family. Actually, the word corona means crown.
Okay.
So because of the
spikes.
Yes,
Okay.
the spikes, it look like a crown. And this family has many other viruses within it. But usually it's a disease which affect, as Dr. said, it affect cows, chicken, mouse, and those other animals, majorly mammals. But with the time, I mentioned something when we started that there is RNA and there is DNA.
Okay.
The lethality of this virus relies squarely on this RNA.
Okay.
When it mutates, it can code or dictate something which can be more virulent, more infective, expressing more symptoms which are more virulent.
And so that means when we are looking for a solution, we target that RNA.
Sure. Actually, you know, during infection, it doesn't use the RNA. It uses these proteins.
Okay.
So in your cell and my cell, there are proteins which complement one another. With the viral proteins, they lock. When they lock, this protein coat now fuses with your cell membrane and my cell membrane and inject the RNA right into the cell. So this RNA can undergo mutations, changes, frame shifts.
Yes.
And it is not, we cannot determine when. Sometimes it will take 20 years, sometimes 10. That is why we have MERS, now we have COVID, we have SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS. So these are just mutated form of the same
virus.
Yes,
Okay.
just like influenza virus, the one we've shortened it as flu.
Yes.
There are mutations which takes place after some time, frame shifts, so rearrangement of this RNA.
Yes.
Then at the end of it, we have a severe one as compared to the original. Most of the time, it's due to interaction between the host, these are the animals, and the viral RNA end up mixing and producing a more severe one.
Wow. Now, are there common viral diseases that we deal with every day that we may not know they are viruses? Or is it only these serious, like Ebola? Is Ebola a virus? Ebola?
Yes, it's a viral
It's a virus.
disease.
Okay.
Yeah, there are many viruses that we deal with day-to-day life. A common one is common cold. Common cold is a viral.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a viral infection. And there are many viruses that cause common cold, including what is he alluded to as
Influenza.
influenza virus. It's a group of viruses, many of them. You've heard of H1N1.
H1N1, yeah.
All those were part of the influenza family. Then, and among the influenza family, you have those that affect chicken again, that affect human beings, but lately the ones that have mutated
the
over
bird
time,
flu.
yes, they also affect human beings. They come in the form of avian flu, the bird flu, but in the end, human beings also get them.
Yes.
And they become more lethal even to
When
human
it gets
beings.
to human beings.
Yes. Then you also have parainfluenza. It's also another big group of viruses that cause common cold. Then you also have rhinoviruses, another big group that cause the same common cold. Yes. But now the severity of the symptoms will tell you that this one is common cold from influenza virus, and this one is just the rhinoviruses. And many others, including Ebola.
There are speculations here that the Chinese eat everything. That's why probably the corona came about.
Well, the speculations could also be true because they interact with a lot of animals at a personal level, more than any other people in the world.
In the planet,
Yes, they could be true, but
it's not verified.
it's not verified. Yes.
Yeah, just to make it clear, you know, this coronavirus is classified as zoonotic,
Yes.
meaning it can be transferred from animals to humans.
Oh, we can exchange it.
Yes, and from even humans to
the animals.
To animals, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a lot of discussion whether actually this is what is happening in China is from human to human or animals to human. But it look like from what is going on, it's now becoming human to human.
Okay.
But it is rare. The coronavirus family is rare to be from human to human.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a rare one.
Yes.
That comes from human to human.
It has mutated.
Okay.
Now the family there.
Amongst the species of the coronavirus, apart from MERS and SARS, there are other like 5 types that affect bats.
Okay.
Yes. And that is where the speculation was coming from. And looking at it from other viruses that we've seen in Africa, like Ebola virus,
Yes.
this is also alluded that it's because of the interaction with the monkeys in the Congo rainforest along the river Ebola.
Yeah.
That is where it's also mutated and jumped into human beings.
Into human beings.
Yes. So all the speculations, whether verified or not, they could have a little bit of scientific bearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's not forget there is this virus, HIV. You know,
Yes.
I think we've stayed with it for a while. It's also a virus.
Yes.
So, Dr. How do I know when I have a viral infection?
Well, that's a very good question. All viral infections present with flu-like
Okay.
illness.
Begins
Flu-like.
flu-like.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Especially the ones that affect the respiratory system. They present with a flu-like illness. And what is flu-like illness? One is just feeling tired, lethargy,
Fatigue.
fatigue.
Yeah.
The other thing would be some form of headache, some form of difficulty in breathing and sneezing, and blocked nostrils. Yeah. Then there we know that you now have something like flu.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
So
from there,
is
raised
corona
temperature.
is corona part of the respiratory?
Yes.
Okay,
In human
okay.
beings,
In human beings.
it manifests with respiratory
Yes.
symptoms.
Okay.
I had said that in pigs and chicken and the birds, they used to have something like diarrhea.
Diarrhea, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But for human beings, what has been noted is respiratory symptoms.
Okay.
Yes.
The predilection has changed,
Okay.
where the virus live.
Okay.
Now, you see, for example, the influenza
Yes.
virus, it loves this mucociliated lining
The mucus related
with
part
the
of,
cilia.
Yes.
So this mucus has cilia, and the cilia trap foreign particles
Okay.
plus the mucus, and it beats up
Okay.
to remove those foreign substances. So these viruses which love the respiratory system destroys this mucociliary blanket. And now the virus will have an opportunity to reach the lungs and cause pneumonia like syndrome.
Okay, from
Yeah.
now the lungs.
Yes.
Now, Doctor, there is these things you give us in the hospital, antibiotics. They have to do with the bacteria.
Yes.
So do we have antivirus?
Yes, we have antiviruses, antiviral drugs,
Okay.
many of them. Like in HIV, we have highly active antiretroviral therapy,
Okay, the ARVs.
the ARVs.
Yeah.
And even for influenza, there are many antiviruses that have been used.
Okay.
Oseltamivir is an example of that, of them, and many others. And there's been a study currently as to whether some of these antiviruses that are in the market are able to contain
address the coronavirus.
the coronavirus. And well, there's some of them that work. Like there's some drugs for HIV, there's some drugs for the influenza virus that work on this, but no clear proof.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been tried, but no clear proof.
Still under trial.
Yes,
So there is hope.
there is hope. Today I was reading that Israel, as a nation, they have produced a vaccine. But you see, for all these to come into the market, they have to go through a number of trials. First
There is a process.
First to the animals, then later on to the human beings. Then before it is released into the market, the FDA in the US has to approve
it, yeah.
that it can work, plus other bodies. The US, it's FDA majorly,
The Food and Drug,
Drug Association.
Yeah.
Then in the UK, there is also a group. Just those two. If they approve it after clinical trials on human beings and in the lab, then it gets to the market.
And
So
so
there is hope.
there is it can be safely consumed.
Yes.
Now let's talk about infection, because we are living at a time when any time we feel that an announcement may come through that we have coronavirus in the neighborhood. How do I protect myself from a virus?
From a virus. Well, one thing that we must learn is that coronavirus, unlike most of the respiratory affecting viruses, is a droplet infective virus. Yes. The other viruses move from one person to another through aerosol. Like when I breathe it out, you can acquire it. But this does not happen with coronavirus.
Oh, so if
for
one of us has corona here, no amount of breathing
Yes.
Equals to infection.
equals to infection.
Yes.
But for the other viruses,
Yes.
then the breathing brings a risk.
Yes.
I hope you're listening, viewer.
Coronavirus is spread through droplet. Droplet means that when I cough and produce the sputum,
Yeah.
and it lands on your mouth or your eye or your nose, is when you get it.
Yeah.
When I sneeze and there's that expulsion,
And expel, yes.
mucus, then it lands on you, on him, in the eye, on the skin, is when he gets it. You get the difference.
I wipe myself, then I hold the supermarket trolley.
Yes.
I push it, pay for the things, you pick the same trolley.
Yes, and touch your body with it.
And then after, as
Then
you are
quiet.
picking things in the shop, you wipe your nose as you keep going.
You have
We have
inoculated
shared-
yourself.
We have shared something.
Yes. Now that is the difference between it. And so it makes the infectivity that low.
Okay.
Yes. But woe unto health workers who come into contact with many people. Yes. And you go greeting them and you go, sharing love. Like at home, you want to kiss the forehead of your child before they go to school and you have a problem, you pass it.
That is inoculation.
Yes.
Inoculation is what?
Just putting the virus,
Virus
particles.
where it multiplies.
Not that we are not saying a virus is a cell. It's a particle when it is out
Yes.
Yeah.
of the cell, the host cell.
So how long can it survive out here?
Currently, from the information we have,
Yeah.
up to 9 days for coronavirus.
So if
For-
I sneeze the coronavirus on this armrest, it has a potential of hanging around here for 9 days.
That is it. But note this, that we mentioned proteins,
Yes.
which encloses the
Yeah.
nucleic acid. It may not survive for more than 9 days if there is any agent that destroys this protein.
And what are these agents that destroy it?
Surely there are many agents. For example, alcohol, spirit, the one we use.
Okay,
Up to 60% concentration of spirit can
So
destroy
of course, when we
the
say alcohol, brethren, we are not talking about brew. We
Sure.
are talking about alcohol in the sense of
a chemical composition of a
yes.
liquid.
yes, like now the spirit,
Yes.
the spirit that we use for sterilizing, methylated spirit. Yeah, it is in the group of alcohol, isn't it?
Sure.
So that one can destroy. So when I wipe here with that disinfectant,
Yes, it can destroy the protein coat.
and therefore,
And many others, like even direct sunlight.
Yes.
Okay.
Ultraviolet light is abbreviated UV light, is known to destroy many things.
okay,
Yes.
when it's just exposed to the sun,
Yes.
Even a heat.
even heat.
Heat denatures proteins. Yes. So those are the factors which can destroy this virus and may not survive there. I don't know which term can I use, because when I say survival, it means something which is living. And it can get its own food, duplicate itself or reproduce. But without us, without our cells, this particle, when it is out of the cell,
Yes.
we call it particle.
Yes.
When it is in, now it starts replicating. It behaves like a living thing
So what
again.
I hear you saying, the experts we have here, is that if I learn some hygienic ways of living,
Yes.
my chances of protecting myself from coronavirus and other viruses is very high.
Indeed.
Clean my hands,
Yes.
expose myself to the sun,
Yes.
which is a very healthy exercise,
Yes.
and just make sure that in my pocket I carry something which I think the viewer,
Sanitizer.
sanitizer, and sometimes we call handkerchief.
Handkerchief.
If I must sneeze, let me not share with the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
And
this way.
If you don't have
yeah,
that way.
that way. So that you don't have to infect other people.
Yes.
This issue of just sneezing anyhow after listening to us is not right, honestly. Because now you can kill the whole world single-handedly. Serial murderer. Just because of the way you sneeze. And we need to teach our children to know how to sneeze.
Sure.
And carry sanitizers. Learn to clean your hands. What else?
Well, for the health workers, besides all that, is use of face masks, goggles, especially when you are interacting with people that you think are infected.
And you have said for health workers.
For health workers,
You know,
to the general population,
Yeah.
using masks is a bit
On the excess.
yeah, it's on the excess. Not
Yeah.
unless
The
you
extreme
have the
part,
disease
yeah.
itself. That is when you would be encouraged to use a mask.
If you are sick.
If you are
So
sick.
if we see you with a mask, you are sick.
Yes.
You are not a medical worker. Why are you wearing a mask? Why?
There's a caveat to this in that it is noted that when you use a mask, you tend to keep on moving it, keep on touching yourself, and that in itself exposes you to now the risk of acquiring the disease.
Self-inoculation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you're sick, now it's justified to cover yourself so that you do not spread it to
Yes.
the next person.
Yeah.
But if you're not sick, do not.
know-
I think what is confusing people is what is happening in China. Everybody's wearing a mask. Yeah. In China, there are many problems,
Okay.
not just the disease. There are many problems, including the pollution that is going on.
Because of
Yes.
the industrialization
The
in China.
industrialization.
So even before coronavirus, the Chinese always walked around with their
With
masks.
masks.
And even in India,
Yeah.
some months ago,
So
they
don't
were
just
using
copy
masks.
everything.
Yeah.
Actually, the Surgeon General in America made a statement, and I was reading the other day saying, please don't buy the masks.
Yeah.
Because when you buy the masks in mass, you deny the medical workers
Who
who
it?
need the masks. And when they are at risk, all of us are at risk.
Yes.
Because they serve sick people, and you have taken all the masks in your house. The day you get sick and he's sick, you will not go with a mask. And then you get sick. Don't buy the masks. Eh.
Yes. So some of those are the things that can be used, but basically it's hygiene.
And so when it is announced, and we are praying that it doesn't happen, so if it is announced today that there is coronavirus in town, how much does panic contribute?
It contributes a lot, and that's why I believe even in Africa we have the disease, but you won't hear any government officials or any governments proclaiming it loudly, because panic would make things worse.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially on the issue of purchasing the masks. You buy masks, you don't know how to use it properly, and you keep on touching yourself.
And everyone will start moving around,
Everyone will start moving around.
spreading the
Things will
disease
come
again.
to a standstill. Like we
The
can't
economic activities in a country will come to a standstill.
we can't run our hospitals comfortably. We can't run schools. We can't run many places. But in Africa, it would bring a lot of challenge because we are not prepared. Remember, even in our country, we only have 11 beds
But let me say this about
at
panic.
the airports.
You know what, Doctor?
Yes.
Social media.
Yes.
There are people who have majored on fake news to spread panic.
Sure.
You are contributing to the virus and not stopping it. Because when you tell everybody that it is confirmed there is coronavirus in this country, how have you helped? You are creating panic and a situation where now the population can't be contained, and as a result the disease can't be contained. You are adding nothing to it. Honestly, before you forward that belief that has been taught, and some of the news sources are just fake. We have big media houses, they have not even reported that story. But there you are, quoting some funny source dot something, and you in your right mind, you share it. No, it's not right. This causing panic is not right. And now you are talking about preparedness. What preparedness is this that we say in Africa we are not prepared? What is the preparedness?
We are not prepared in terms of many things. Our laboratories cannot effectively pick out some of these viruses. Yes, we rely on some centralized places like in Kenya, I would say the CDC, the KEMRI. Yeah, those are the places that.
So it may take a while to confirm a case.
And the government laboratory in Nairobi. Just those 3 places that you take a sample and they confirm to you. And that will take time for you to even diagnose effectively that this is coronavirus and this is not influenza, and yeah.
Accurate diagnosis is very important.
Yes.
And that's where our challenge is.
Yes. For you to diagnose this virus, you need a sequence, the order of the RNA.
Yes.
To identify which virus it is.
Yes. And then you match with what you have. We have a standard one, which you compare with the sample. If it matches to certain percentage, then you strongly believe that this is coronavirus. And at the moment in Kenya, we need to use a thermocycler. That is PCR, polymerase chain reaction. This is a reaction when the DNA, the sample, and the standard DNA, RNA strand are matched together, they are able to duplicate one another. If there is a successful duplication, then we can confirm that.
And that takes, it's a process that takes time.
Yes, the machine itself is expensive.
Wow.
And it is located in research centers. Yeah. So in hospitals, we may not diagnose this. So it is you asked something which is very important, and panic is something that will destroy us, especially when we have fake news. We have this report, they are sharing information through social media and quoting funny websites, as you have said. This will bring even more confusion. We may not know whether there is real confirmation or not. So information should be confirmed from reliable sources. If the government laboratories confirmed that actually there is a positive test, we need to believe that. And I think the government should be now prepared enough to advise the public in case of a positive test. Because there will be a lot of movements. If there is a positive test in Mombasa, for example, God forbid, we expect people to move out of Mombasa. And maybe that positive test would have spread the virus again.
So the people moving out
will now spread
with them as they run away.
Yes.
They bring it.
All of a sudden we confirm another positive test somewhere else. And if my home is Mombasa, I will start traveling to Mombasa or to Turkana. So that is an entire matrix of spread. So this panic, we should come and wait for the reliable information.
Okay.
But I think the government needs to do more in terms of quelling the panic. By even through the social media, they should actively campaign to cool down the panic. Because so far in Africa, we've not been told of any person who has died from corona. Even Africans who are in China.
In China?
Yes.
And what could that be about? How comes?
Well, genetic susceptibility also plays a role.
Sure.
And the other thing that plays a role is climatics. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, climate plays a role with viral infections, especially the respiratory infections. Remember, the time this virus was coming up is when China was experiencing winter. During winter, it's known all over the world that is the time most of the respiratory problems set up. And if something that also affects the respiratory problem, the respiratory system comes into play, now it worsens the problem.
Now, there's a question I want to ask Daktari.
Yes.
if I am confirmed today to be having coronavirus,
Yes.
is it a death sentence?
No. No, I would say it's not a death sentence.
Our viewer needs to know this, because the panic out here is coronavirus equals to death.
No,
Not really.
I would say that even from the statistics that we get from China, it's not a death sentence.
Pause, Dr.
Oh, it's falling.
Yeah, so I will repeat again.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Dr. I would like to find out, is coronavirus, if I'm confirmed today to have coronavirus, is it equals to death?
Well, I would say the answer to that is no. Just from the statistics that we see all over the world, from places that this disease has been confirmed and people have been treated. Remember, today they're talking of about 88,000 people that have been confirmed to have the disease, and only about 3,042, that one is as per the morning today. And those are the actual deaths. And people that have been discharged from the hospital, about 41,000. That tells
so
you
3,000 dead, 41,000 discharged.
discharged from
So
the
it's not a death sentence.
So it's not a death sentence.
And that is
All
where
you
the
need to
calculation
do-
comes from. You can see the ratio.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. All you need to do when you get the disease is that you ensure you do not spread it to the next person by now putting on the face mask, observing washing of hands, using sanitizers, and self-quarantine.
Okay.
Yes. Well, in Kenya we would say self-quarantine, but outside there, they are taken to places where they are quarantined.
So during quarantine, what do you do if I'm to self-quarantine? What does that mean?
That would mean you stay in your house.
And I don't
You-
interact with people?
Yes, you don't go outside to
Okay.
the marketplaces, to the churches, to anywhere many people are. Yes.
Where there is a chance of that droplet reaching somebody.
I think we are learning what to do. First, we don't panic. Two, just get to know that it's not a death sentence.
Yes.
And number three, self-quarantine and know that there are very high chances of you recovering.
Yes.
And recovery depends on your health. And so how do we improve our health so that we are not susceptible to corona and many other diseases?
Well, this goes without saying. Eat the right food, exercise, expose yourself to sun. Hygiene, yes, proper hygiene.
Proper hygiene.
Hand washing, this is just so basic. Hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. And remember in social places, remember all those again. Hand washing. Right now, in places that have been confirmed to have coronavirus, even shaking of hands, kissing, sharing love through
Is
hugging
prohibited here.
is prohibited now. Yes. So I think those are some of the things that once we observe, and rehydration, by the way, just rehydrate yourself when you have this flu-like syndrome.
Take a lot of water.
Take a lot of-
Rehydration, that's the language the doctor uses, but in your language and mine, we say take a lot of water.
Yeah, just take lots of water. If you have these symptoms, the overt symptoms that you are not breathing properly, like you have problems breathing, now it's good to seek medical advice. Go to the hospital and tell them what you're feeling. Yeah, don't go and start coughing on people and throwing sputum all over people.
Like you don't want to die alone.
Yes. Just go there, tell them I have this problem, and you'll get checked, and the necessary steps will take effect from there.
Just in addition to that, you've asked a very important question here. And Daktari mentioned these key factors that you need to consider. Washing your hands, taking plenty of water, and all that. You will realize that these are the things we need to be doing daily.
Daily.
With or without this
It
virus.
will be our practice.
Yes. Actually, there is the statistics mentions clearly that many illnesses that we suffer from, we can eliminate a bigger percentage if we only wash our hands. As simple as that. And we should be able to teach our children right from that age they can wash their hands with soap. Scrub very well to make sure that your hands are very clean. So they are very basic. I think when we start mentioning to the viewers that now we need to start washing our hands. No, we should be doing that.
It a lifestyle.
Yes, every day, so every time.
And particularly to healthcare workers, yes, this should be, it's taught in schools, it's taught in seminars, but we should practice washing our hands. Yes. In the medical field, in the hospital, we have a way of washing our hands. But just washing your hands with soap. If you do not have soap, just wash with water.
Running water.
Yeah,
running water is good enough.
You know, running water is key, because if you are just returning the hands in the same basin with the dirty water, you know, you've washed your hands, the dirt went into the basin, then you scoop the same water, you wash it. The water has to be running water.
If you do not have a tap, somebody should pour it for you.
So that the water flows, the dirt goes.
Yes.
You know, what somebody helped me understand that we touch a lot of dirty surfaces.
Sure.
You walk to the mall, the supermarket, you pick the basket. You are not the first one to have picked it.
Used it, yeah.
You go to a door, you touch the door to open it. You are not the first one to touch it. You know, so there are many places, anywhere there are handles and things to touch, even before you shake anyone's hand.
Even our phones.
Yes, our mobile phones.
Including money.
Yeah.
And money.
Yes.
And the money, you are given change, you look at it, you pocket it, then you buy roast maize, using the same hand that gave you change, which the other driver dropped there, and you are now chewing because you think money is good and is not. Listen, friends, let's just wash our hands.
If you can't wash, use the hand sanitizers. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe one last thing that I will hear from these experts. Listen, friends, today we came with experts. This is an expert in biology, microbiology, and at this university, we offer biology bachelors, several biology programs. Biomedical. Can you tell us about the biology that we offer here?
Thank you very much. Biology as a program has options that we are working towards designing independent programs within this biology.
What options are there?
There is a biomedical option. This deals with medical research. Yes.
And then
my area is medical microbiology, stemming from this biomedical science.
Microbiology.
Then we have conservation biology, which deals with the conservation of the natural resources.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
Also to keep our environment very clean. Then we have general biology for those who want to teach in high schools.
Yes.
Those are the three areas.
We even have a master's program in biology.
Sure, we have master's program.
Yes.
Which has two options: biomedical sciences and conservation biology.
Right at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. So one last thing about coronavirus. What would you want our viewer to know?
Thank you very much. Coronavirus. First of all, I would like to say it's not a death sentence, as you have said. And from my observation, there is something which I have noted.
Yes.
That our genetic makeup as African or Africans on this side tend to be more stronger.
It has given us an advantage.
Yes. And our antigen, I can say our pathogen fighting cells are more stronger, such that it can take care of this infection. We may sneeze today, tomorrow, and we are okay.
Yes.
So we should not panic so much like there is something. We are okay. God is there with us. We will be able to fight this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Daktari, you work at the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, at the Jeremic Hospital. He's our medical doctor here. Can you tell us a little bit about the hospital and what it offers?
Well, Jeremic Community Hospital is level 4 categorized as level 4 hospital. We offer outpatient services, we offer inpatient services. And we offer surgeries. We have a surgeon that is visiting every week, and we schedule patients for surgeries. We have MCH, there is Mother and Child Health Clinic, and we are able to do family planning there. We are able to give immunization for children and pregnant women. And we also have the nursing department that takes care of both inpatient and outpatient clinics. So we are a team, and we would advise that the community should give us the support by coming to Jeremic. We use NHIF that is able to cater for both surgeries and outpatients. So please, you could come. If you have any problem, just come to Baraton Community Medical Center.
And so, Dr. Odira, maybe the last word to our viewer concerning coronavirus and our healthful living. Maybe a statement for our viewer.
I think the key element for me in terms of prevention of coronavirus infection is hygiene, basic hygiene. Wash your hands, cough hygiene. If you use a handkerchief, or if you do not have a handkerchief, use this.
You viewer, try that. Can you try this?
Like that.
Yeah, you are learning.
You cough here. You don't spread the droplets. And proper use of masks for people who are sick. Yes, and health workers. And avoiding crowded places. And if you have to walk in a market, use a hand sanitizer. Carry one with you. Remember, it's not too expensive. Yeah, just buy it. 150 shillings, 80 shillings. You get a portable pocket hand sanitizer. There are even these ones that you use to wipe.
Yes. The wipes.
The wipes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use any of those. It's just hygiene.
Hygiene is the key word.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is Baraton TV. We have come to you to explore the subject of coronavirus so that we leave our viewers knowledgeable and well prepared in the event. Thank you so much. This is broadcasting from the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. Baraton TV, here and hereafter.